Welcome back to the latest episode of Some Good Library News. Our first story comes from a community member, commentator, Tad Good. He is the director of the Snake Alley Film Festival and a contributor to Attack of the Killer podcast, which talks shop about horror films. Tad?
Thanks, Sam. It's great to be here. While theaters remain closed, we're all sort of stuck at home, searching through the endless sea of films that are streaming on Netflix, Hulu, everything. There's just so much out there. There's so many streaming services. It's just overwhelming. If you've never used Kanopy, I highly recommend it. Kanopy is a new streaming service that's provided for free by the Burlington Public Library because they cover all the costs so we can watch the movies without ads. So all you need is a library card. You can go to kanopy.com with a K, Kanopy.com, and you can download the app there. You can put it on any of your streaming devices like your Roku or your Fire Stick, whatever you have at home, even your smart TV, and you can watch it just like Netflix. You just use your library card number. It's really that simple, and you get 10 credits per month, which is quite a bit, and those are all free. No ads, no anything. It's fantastic. So what I'm going to do is just sort of go through some suggestions and recommendations that I really liked and some films I think are really important right now in this time, and we'll get through that list pretty quick. So just recently, the last couple weeks, Kanopy added an entire collection of films focused on social injustice and systemic injustice called Black Lives Matter. And it's a great collection of documentaries and films that are super informative. You can learn a lot from them, and they're very eye-opening, and a lot of them are just great documentaries. The first one I would recommend is the Sundance selection, Whose Streets? Very good, eye-opening documentary. The next one is Ken Burns' Central Park 5. If you're familiar with that story, this documentary will still teach you something. There's a lot to pack into that documentary and a lot to take in. And the third one I recommend is Stranger Fruit, an investigation into the death of Michael Brown. It's a sad one, but it's powerful, eye-opening, and so very well made. Yeah, you'll just be shocked by what you see on the screen. June is also Pride Month, so Kanopy has also put out a great selection of films focused on LGBTQ history. The first one I recommend is Big Joy, the Adventures of James Broughton. We played this documentary at the Capitol probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it is just so wonderful. James Broughton is a filmmaker, a poet, an artist in every sense of the way, and his story is so inspiring. He sort of has this motto that just says, "Follow your own weird," and I think that's just so perfect. And I think this documentary will bring some light to some dark times. The other one I'm going to suggest is called I Am Divine. It focuses on the drag legend Divine, who became a huge star after collaborating with filmmaker John Waters. You probably recognize Divine, been in several of John Waters' films, sort of a household name as far as drag goes. So that's another wonderful documentary, sort of tells the story of Divine. Now I'm just going to throw out some picks for movies that I love and recommend personally. Not going to be for everybody, but I love these movies, and I think you will too. First one is A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. This is the first Iranian vampire western ever made. If that sounds crazy, it is. You've never seen anything like this. It's a gothic horror mashup. It's a debut feature film from director Anna Lily Amirpour. Shot in black and white, it's gorgeous. It mashes so many genres together. It's just perfect. I love it. Check it out. The next one is Eighth Grade. This is the first film from director Bo Burnham, who's a stand-up comedian. It's a tender take on teen angst, and it won the Best First Screenplay at the Film Independent Spirit Awards a few years ago. A lot of people thought it got snubbed at the Oscars because it's so great. If you have a teenage daughter or son, I highly recommend watching this with them. It is rated R, but it's just for some swear words. He tried to sort of get it pushed out there for middle schools to show it, and it was met with some resistance because of the R rating. But like I said, this movie really touches on what it's like to be a teenager growing up, and this one really hit me right in the heart. So I highly recommend Eighth Grade. The Disaster Artist. This is one that we played just last year for the Snake Alley Festival film. tells the story of aspiring filmmaker and Hollywood outsider Tommy Wiseau, as him and his best friend set out to make their debut film, Tommy's first big Hollywood movie, which ended up becoming the now infamous cult classic, The Room. It's very inspiring because it tells the story of someone who was rejected by the Hollywood system, went on to do his own thing, and it became a huge success. Not in the way that he planned, but the movie's still selling out showings to this day. And this movie tells the story about that, directed by James Franco, who won the Golden Globe for Best Actor as Tommy Wiseau, and it's fantastic. Highly recommend checking that one out. The next one is Swiss Army Man. I love this movie. One of my favorite movies of the last 10 years. This one is a masterpiece of fart house cinema. Now, yeah, I did say fart house cinema. Hank, played by Paul Dano, is stranded on a desert island. He wants to end it all. He's given up all hope on life until a farting corpse named Manny, played by Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe, washes ashore. This film contains comedy, tragedy, at the perfect balance. It's just heartwarming, heartbreaking at the same time, and it's so unique. You've never seen anything like it. It's beautifully shot. The cinematography is awesome. The performances are great. The story is great. The music is just awesome. I highly recommend this movie. I love it. I watch it frequently. And check it out, Swiss Army Man. And last but not least, we have What We Do in the Shadows. If you've never seen this, which I'd be surprised, it's a hilarious mockumentary that follows a group of vampires as they try to get by in modern society. This one is sort of hitting another stride right now because FX has a TV show spinoff based on it right now. And it's from director Taika Waititi, who ended up later doing Thor Ragnarok, and he's doing the follow-up to that. He did Jojo Rabbit. He's been nominated for several Oscars. He's just a fantastic storyteller, and this movie is hilarious. Like I said, it follows a group of vampires as they try to make it through everyday life in modern society, and it's hilarious. Doesn't get much funnier than this one. It's just sort of lighthearted and crazy. So that's what I recommend from Kanopy. Like I said, download it, check it out, and thanks to the library for providing such a free, awesome service. It's seriously one of the best collections on any streaming service out there. You'll be scrolling through it for hours just trying to figure out what to watch, but I hope I narrowed it down a little bit and you enjoy some of the selections I recommended. Now, back to you, Sam.
Wow, thank you, Tad, for taking time to report for some good library news and sharing the excellent documentaries, movies, and more that can be found available through free on Kanopy. Learn more at the links below. Our local bit of good news comes from the Burlington Community School District, who will continue to offer free meals to area children throughout the summer. Meals will be served between 11 and 1 p.m. weekdays on North Hill Elementary School, Grimes Elementary School, and the Burlington High School. Curbside delivery is offered, and those who are walking to pick up meals will be asked to wait at a designated area. There's no identification or proof necessary for this service. The program is open to all children under the age of 18. Thank you, Community School District. We really appreciate you keeping us fed and together during the summer months. Next we go to the weather with Sarah and her weather pup Lily. Ladies.
Thank you, Sam. I'm here with Miss Lily, thinking about doing the weather, although she's looking pretty tired. Uh-oh. Just hold on one moment. I think I hear something. We don't want the puppy dog to have all the attention. We want to do the weather. It's a hamster takeover. This is supposed to be beautiful. Beautiful this weekend. Beautiful. Sunny in the 70s. Now we're cuter than the puppy dog. You should listen to us. Hi. If you want anything else, ask my friend. Hello. It's a hamster takeover. I'm cute too. The weather's gonna be nice. We're much more fun to watch than the silly dog. Or you can look at her for a moment. Lily is not amused by the hamster takeover.
Wow, thank you for the good news about lovely weather coming up and a bit of interspecies insurrection in our weather report. Our last good news feature of the episode is Summer Reading Program. Over 400 of you have already registered and are participating in the reading incentives, the online challenges, and the virtual programs. There's always room for more though, so feel free to hit the links below and sign up for Summer Reading now. We look forward to connecting, reading, growing, and just enjoying the summer with you. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. My name is Sam Helmick. I'm your Public Services Manager and Some Good Library News anchor. And remember, we love you, we miss you, and we look forward to serving you again at the Burlington Public Library. In fact, come see me. The public access computers are open and you can call for an appointment now. Take care.